The time is now. Welcome back to the Time is Now podcast. Thank God we could be here together today. On this podcast, we speak to entrepreneurs from all industries and figure out what makes them tick, where they came from, what business means to them, and how they achieve success. I'm Dr. Slava Shut, a doctor of physical therapy, serial entrepreneur, and your host. All right, I have a special guest with us today. Ladies, get ready. Men especially, because this might change your life. Laurence, or as his friends call him, Psych. He's an entrepreneur and dating coach who's been featured on MTV, A&E, Oxygen, and more. He's everywhere. I'm so excited to chat with him today. Let's get into it. Listen, man, everybody wants to call themselves a dating coach or this coach or that coach. Everybody seems to have advice about everything. And my mom has advice about dating. You know, tell us how you got started as an official modern day coaching transformational guy.
Well, I mean, this took years. I mean, I've been doing this for the last 16 years right now. I guess it started with, I was trained in psychology. I was a trained therapist and went to 7 years of formal psychological training. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, all it really started was I got into the self-help scene. I got into these forums back in like 2006. I started going out, implementing things, seeing what worked for myself, and then writing about it. And people took notice and they were like, how the hell are you doing this? What are you doing exactly? Can I go out with you? Then, seeing is believing. People would come out with me. I'd go, I'm in my early 20s. They come out with me to a bar or a club or a lounge or whatever. And they go, can you show me that? Can you teach it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I probably started, I'll be honest, I probably started earlier than I should have. I really didn't have it dialed in back then. But, when you're a college kid, when you're 21, 22, it's amazing, right? So I got into it that way. And once I got into that world and I started coaching and kind of make a name for myself, from there, it was, at least back then, it was a very small kind of community. So I started going around and learning from the greatest experts in the world. I'm talking guys who are shamans, guys who run the AVN porn conventions, crazy NLP hypnotists. I'm talking guys who would walk into a bar or club with 30 to 40 girls with them already and would show me how to do it. And I just hacked every single one of them, being like, I want to learn from anyone and everyone because I believe in the power of mentorship. And so as a coach, I kind of got privy to like learning and seeing all these different guys, all these different strategies, what makes men and women tick. But I will say, out of all of that, I think the biggest teacher to me has been women. I really think I've learned more from women, dating them, seeing what they're about, getting an insight into their lifestyle than I have from anything else. I mean, a lot of the stuff I teach and I do right now literally comes from women.
Absolutely. Haven't you heard the expression, there's no better fisherman in the sea of dating than another woman? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I remember having good friends as girls. And let me tell you, they brought in girls like crazy. It was not even fair. I mean, like, listen, I didn't do too badly. I did actually pretty well in my earlier days before the religious days and before marriage. So, it was great. College basically is an audition for dating. It's like, all different types. It's a buffet. You could have whatever you want. The whole campus is ready, So it's funny, but isn't it different? Like the guy in the porn convention that brings in 20 girls, basically his bank account is bringing in most of the girls, right? It's not like they're coming in.
So two different personalities. So two different guys. The porn convention guy is a friend of mine called Johnny's Porno. He was a porn consultant, crazy guy, would wear horns on his head, really fun stuff. But he was just in that porn world, whatever. The other guy was a British bloke named Adam. And this guy, when he was bringing 20, 30 girls out with him, he was broke as shit. I was doing it myself as a broke college student. I remember when I was making $1,500 a month to my name, and I was doing the exact same thing. I'm partying on yachts. I'm going to these mansion parties. I'm getting all these girls coming out with me, dating me. And at the time I was overweight and I was broke as shit. And I was still able to do these kind of systems because at the end of the day, we understood a simple philosophy. It's how you make a woman feel. if you make a woman feel attraction, if you know how to actually spark that properly and give her that emotional progression. And keep in mind, I was the worst at this back then. I was a kid that was bullied and picked on, shortest kid in the class, fattest kid in the class. I couldn't string words together, Slava, right? So I was the absolute. That's why maybe I took it to heart. I got so into it because it was so night and day from my whole childhood, my whole high school years, and even some of my early college years, going into it. But if you understand how to get a girl a whole emotional progression, the world's your oyster. It doesn't need to be in college, anywhere you go. That's why you see on the bad side of this is that's why you see all these women, some women in these toxic relationships where you see this girl with a guy who's like, why the hell are you with this guy? Right? He's a loser. He's got nothing going for him. He doesn't have whatever, yet she's obsessed with him. Why is that? But at the same time, you also see those guys, if you want to get a 10, you should be a 10. You're really high quality women. Yes, these are guys who have their lives, figured out. And that's why in my program, it's not just pickup lines. It's not just, here's some things to say to a girl. Absolutely. We're going to teach you how to build attraction and meet women, whether it's online dating, cold approach, social circle. But I've got guys in my program, coaches. It's not just me, it's a team, teaching guys how to make more money, how to get in shape, fitness, and biohacking. We got Michelle who teaches time management, who organizes kids of a billionaire. We've got Dale who helps them with their inner growth, build their confidence, and get healthy mindsets. There are social circles, how to make friends with women. God forbid, right? You can actually have female friends. What to do if you get a girl, how to have meaningful relationships. Two of the coaches in my company have been married, one for over 20 years now. So it's not just a one type of let's go out and meet a girl and use a line or whatever. Ideally, what modern flirting is really about is getting these guys the skill sets that dad never taught us, school never taught us, society never taught us. It's giving us these skills that are just kind of not really discussed anywhere that get you the kind of lifestyle you want.
This really gives me a different impression because my initial thought was this guy is trying to get guys to be better at some of these swipe apps and all these kind of stuff, and just to get in bed, basically. But what you're telling me is you're not just like a pickup artist kind of guy. You're trying to get guys to be the best version of themselves, right, so they are a better product for whoever they decide to attract. Because honestly, some of these guys have probably been around the block. They've probably been hurt. They probably lost somebody they loved, and they want to get back into the dating scene and be a better version of themselves and get a better quality person than they were with before. Is that true?
I'm not going to lie to you, Slava, and this is all in my book, Psychology of Modern Flirting, where I detail my journey. Yeah. I started as the pickup artist guy, 100%. For the first 2-3 years, I would go out with my bag of tricks. I would, use manipulation tactics. I would say these lines. I would say these fake stories, whatever I can to just get a girl into bed. I was part of the problem. Right? I started it.
I gotta know. I mean, this is just for fun, but I gotta know, what is the worst, cheesiest line and or what career path you had for a girl? I gotta hear it. I mean, if you're comfortable to share it and you're vulnerable enough, I'd like to hear the worst. I mean, something that you actually flew out of your mouth at one time.
All right. I mean, it's hard to say the word, whatever. I'll give you what comes up to me, and this is a real story. This is the first ever cold approach I ever did. Okay, because I didn't know any better. So I'm 20 years old. I can't get into a bar. I read in this book, where it said the one line was "Hey, did you see that fight outside?" Right? That was the pickup line. Just get a conversation started. By the way, hey, did you see that fight outside? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this line. I have nowhere to go. My buddy suggests we go to this cancer walkathon because I can't get in the bars, whatever. So I'm at a cancer walkathon. I'm walking around. I see a girl. It's the first approach I've ever done. I'm shitting myself. I'm so nervous. I go up to her and I go, hey, did you see that fight outside? And she's like, where? What the hell are you talking about? It dawned on me. I'm like, one, we're already outside. What am I talking about? So where am I talking about? Number two, we're at a cancer walkathon. Who the hell is fighting at charity events?
Yeah.
Right? What is happening right now? So then I was like, oh my God, what is it? Like this doesn't work or whatever. Thankfully, I kept going. I didn't just stop. And that same day, I started doing, some other things that I read about. And for the first time in my life, I was sitting in a grass field with 5 girls surrounding me, hanging on my every word as I was telling them these things about themselves using a routine called the cube. And that's what hooked me. And I'm like, oh my God, these women are actually interested in what I have to say. And that's really what started this whole like journey. But as I was saying before, it got me to become this like weird, creepy pickup artist guy. And I don't want that on anyone, because you can be getting laid and hooking up. But I'll tell anyone listening to this, it's a lot cheaper, easier, and less time consuming just getting hookers if that's what you really want. Okay. If you actually, I mean, I'm serious, like it'll save you a lot of time and actually money. But I understood I was living this really empty lifestyle. There's a lot of quote unquote dating coaches, whatever, out there who have no business doing this. Right. Like I've been in this for 16 years. Again, they have no actual therapy background. They have no real coaching background, other than look at me, I get laid, you should do what I do. I understood I had to be more. And I think what really broke through around 2009 was when I came up with this amazing concept. What if I actually had women in my life? I actually befriended them and got to know them and went out with them as friends and see their worldview. And from there, it blew up. I was getting access to parties and events I never had access to. All of a sudden, millionaires, these multimillionaires want to hang out with me because they knew like I was this guy that could just bring all these women around. I was having these really fun events. Even back in the day when I was broke as shit, I was still living this incredible lifestyle. And then I'm like, what if I took it further? What if I got in shape? What if I actually learned how to make money for myself? What if I actually dialed in my life and found hustle harmony, found this balance of work and life and family? And it just kept growing and evolving and evolving. So at this point, Modern Flirting is ceased to be just a dating coaching service. It's really it's a men's empowerment movement. It's a lifestyle that, yes, we guarantee women, we guarantee guys more dates than they know what to do, high quality dates than they know what to do with. Yes, we guarantee them to get a new sense of confidence that comes from competence. But we also guarantee an actual full transformation so that they can be the kind of guy they want to be, not just, trick women into liking them and then they don't know what to do and they can't keep them.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the proverb of you could give a man a fish or you could teach a man how to fish. You can feed his own. And I think that giving people tools makes you a good coach because, you've been through the struggles, you've been through the stuff, and you transformed yourself. Great coaches have been in the ditch. Great coaches have been in the trenches in the fight. They've been there. They've had the hurdles. They've had, the struggles. Tell me, what are men and women today? What is the hurdle that men and women today have in this whole dating scene?
Fake abundance. And funny enough, the answer to that is real abundance. But that's a whole nother, that's the idea, right? What I mean by fake abundance is back in the day, you lived in a small town, you lived in a city or whatever. A guy would go meet a girl. Okay, you met that person. You would put some effort in. There would be a courtship. There would be a whole process, and both parties would want to put some effort into this and see where this goes. Now, the moment somebody does anything wrong, doesn't feel the right way, fuck it. Let's go back to dating apps. Let's start swiping again. Let's go meet up, other random people. The population just hit 8 billion, right? It used to be like, 5 billion back in the 50s, right? So there's too many people, there's too many options, there's too many stuff, and it gives us a fake sense of abundance. On top of that, there is such a thing as hypergaming. Hypergaming really means 20% of the men out there are dating 80% of the women. Most women, if you look at, and you can see this in just online dating, has really blown our brains on statistics of what the dating scene is looking like. The guys who swipe left and right on women, it's about 50-50. I forget the exact numbers. With women, it's like 86% of women swipe left on men. Most women find about only 15% of the dating pool to actually be dateable. That's why we have these groups out there, these men who are joining things like the incel movements, the MGTOWs, the red pills, the black pills, the fart pills, or whatever the pills, whatever's out there, right? There's men are realizing they're undateable and they're getting very, very bitter because women are just like, I have all these options and I'm on Instagram and I'm getting all this attention and look how these likes I'm getting. Now I got maybe OnlyFans or whatever the hell, right? So we're getting inundated with this fake sense of abundance and it's making it harder and harder to make an actual real connection. Here's the kicker though. What if, as a guy, you're in that 20%. Then life's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. You got
right?
80%, 86% pool. That's pretty good
That's
pool.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by the answer to the fake abundance is real abundance. When you can dial in your processes, when you actually get this skill down, when you understand women like no other guys don't, because here's my hope to every guy listening to this: your competition sucks. Your competition is awful. Women are complaining about it. When I tell women what I do, I'm like, I'm trying to make guys better for you. Women are thanking me for this when they come to my lectures. They see what I teach. We go through it. Women, almost universally, I mean, there's always the hate online, which is just funny to me. But when they actually get to know it and see it, they're like, yes, thank you. Finally, someone's teaching it because this isn't taught anywhere else. So what we're able to do is we take guys who are of different minorities, whether they're Indian or Asian, guys who are shorter. I've helping guys who are 5'4". I've got one guy in the program 5'2". Older men. We just got a guy in a relationship who's 61. Ed, he's now in a relationship. Matt, he was 46 and 47 and started dating this 27-year-old. And now he's married to her and they've got a beautiful baby girl, right? It is bananas what happens when guys just understand how to give women that proper emotional progression, what I call my traction ladder. When guys dial this in and they understand the psychology of this and how this works, it really is bananas. It's insane because the competition is so bad. And then on top of that, if you can do all this side stuff, if you can work on yourself using our systems of, either making more money, getting in better shape, managing your time better, growing internally so that you are a more positive person, because there's a lot of bitterness, out there. When you do all these things in conjunction with that, and you start living an attractive lifestyle, forget the top 20%. You're in the top 1%.
So it can't be just looks. It can't be just looks. Can you tell the audience, because first I want to know, like, who are you targeting? Who is your primary client? Like, I know you have an avatar who you help the most. There's got to be somebody that you help the most. And number two, it cannot be just looks. What are some of the characteristics you could share with us that are the keys to a woman's heart?
Okay. I guess the guys, my avatar, the guys I love to help the most would probably be obviously single, men. They'd probably be like business owners, entrepreneurs, just success-minded men. I don't like the guys, I don't want to say don't like, but it's not really for guys they want to half-ass things, right? Our things are dialed in for the guys who are very busy. They have their lifestyle, they have their life, they have their careers dialed in, they have their stuff going on, but for whatever reason, this isn't clicking just yet. And they just want to speed up this process, have it done for you system where they just like, here's what I do, here's how to learn it, let's go. And that's ideally what I'm working with, because if you show me you can get successful at one thing, you can get successful at anything. Right. And I truly in my heart believe that. You show me a guy can get successful at one thing, I'll show you a guy can get successful at anything, assuming he has the right systems in place, assuming he's, knows what to do correctly, right? So beyond that, with your second question, what is the key to a woman's heart? I love that kind of question because it assumes like, it's like the marketing thing, right? Here are 3 simple tricks to get any girl. The answer, Slava, is it's not one thing, it's everything. All right. I would say the emotional progression, if I want to get really like nitty gritty to it, it's knowing how to unlock things in a certain phase. So the simplest version of it would be my 5 vibes. And ultimately these 5 vibes get a girl to invest. When a girl invests in you, right? Cognitive dissonance kicks in. I'm going to get like psychology nerdy a little bit here. But she goes, well, why am I investing in this guy? Why am I putting effort into this guy? Right. And I must like him. And when that clicks, game over. The girl will keep investing. This is why women will keep investing. This is why guys can be better looking than me. They can make more money than me. They can have all this stuff that's better than me, right? And I'm not going to say looks don't matter. Don't get me wrong. Like, Slava, I'm not going to lie to you or your audience. Looks matter, but thank God we're not women, because men are way 1,000 times more superficial about looks than women are. All right, we're the scumbuckets, honestly, if anything. We are the more superficial ones, if I'm being real, okay? Thank God. As a guy, it's not just about looks. I would say more is your look matters than your looks, right? The grooming. Like, do Do you take care of yourself in a basic way? Or like, are you taking basic fashion down? Are you making sure your clothes fit? Just like get your look down. That solves 90% of the whole looks thing, okay? But ultimately, you want to give this girl an emotional experience that she associates with you. It's a process called classical conditioning, and where she is going to want to invest in you. And these are the orders of the vibes. You know, we all talk about like this guy. You know, you ever hear women like, there was just good chemistry. You know, like, I don't know, we just clicked. I just liked his vibe. As men, we don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, what is that? We know what it feels like, but we don't know what that, like, we're very logical creatures. What does that mean? I'm here to tell your listeners what that means. Here are the vibes to get that chemistry, okay? Number one, you have to make a girl feel comfortable. If a girl's uncomfortable around you, aka creepy, you're done. You could be Brad fucking Pitt. You could have a six-pack. If this girl is uncomfortable around you, nothing can happen, right? Now, if she's comfortable, the last time by itself, that's not going to do anything because, yeah, maybe you'll get a friend, but we got to spice things up, right? So from there, yeah, I mean, you could get a friend, nothing wrong with it, but if you want to get attraction, we got to move on. We got to get playful. Playful is the next vibe. Is she having fun around you? Fun is the ultimate attraction switch, all right? This girl needs to be having fun. There's that song that hit the nail on the head. Girls just want to have fun. Getting her laughing, giving her an experience where you are giving, you're not trying to take anything. Oh my God, she starts opening up. So now the vibe is playful. When she's being playful with you, you go to the third vibe, which is flirting. We're on flirting for a reason. Now she's flirting with you, the back and forth, and realizing, hey, this isn't platonic. Something's happening here. There's a sparks of attraction going on. I'm having fun, but now it's not just fun, it's flirting fun. When she realizes there's a spark, we got to put gasoline on the fire. We got to make that spark ablaze. So we go to the fourth vibe, which is connection. We have to build a connection with a girl. But even that's kind of vague. I'm sure a lot of guys are like, well, what does that mean, connection? Or I just talk about myself. Let me, to explain the connection vibe, you have to understand a woman's reality. Women are inundated. They are badgered with desperate interest from men. The catcalling, the unsolicited dick pics, the fire emojis and heart emojis on their Instagram, whatever the hell, right? Guys are throwing themselves at these women desperately. When you get a girl to open up to you and tell you who she is as a person, what her fears are, what her ambitions are, who she was as a child, childhood progression, what her actual cares and concerns are, what her opinions are of the world, when you get her to open up on these things and you can honestly look her in the eye and be like, I see you and I like what I see, and you can show genuine interest in her, boom, you've got a connection with this girl. So now you've got this vibe where you have a connection, and then guess what? When you've got a girl that's comfortable with you, having fun with you, she's flirting with you, and you've got a connection with her, you go to the fifth vibe, which is sexual. But now, as you're getting sexual, that vibe, that sexual chemistry is happening, it's not something you're trying to get from the girl. It's a gift. You're giving her this. She's craving it from you. And if you understand how to escalate properly, then you know how to do so in a way where the girl's begging for more. And that's it. And it's very, so that's the simplest way I can put it. If we can really dissect any one of these and go really in depth. But if I can show a guy something, it's how to give that emotional journey to any girl he needs.
That is a nice segue transition. It's logical. My male mind kind of gets it. Like, that wasn't complicated. You said 5 things, and my male mind at first was like, oh, crap. I hope I don't forget the first one by the time you get to the second one. And you just laid it down, and it's like, that kind of makes sense. It kind of flows. That kind of transitions. Because, I think a lot of guys make a mistake. They try to go to 5, like right away.
Of course.
But,
right.
And that's what goes into the creepiness of getting comfortable. Am I saying that correctly? Like,
yes, if you try to, or connection. A lot of times, especially with the really high quality ones, guys will try and do these things. The love bombing. I just think you're just so special and amazing, and build a connection. And it's like, bro, let's just chill and have fun, whatever. Why are you trying to make this connection? We're not there yet. You have to do it in the right order, and you have to see what she's giving you back. If you don't do that, you're gonna shoot. That's when girls say things like, "It feels forced." I don't know. It just feels very forced. Basically, I decoded what women are saying, and I'm able to translate it and explain it to men in a way we can understand and we can implement, and give them very practical and actionable tips on how to meet women, how to attract women, and then how to keep them in our life. For my business mind people, it's literally just like a business. Like for example, Slava, you have a business, right? Whether this podcast, with your profession, correct? I guarantee your business consists of three parts: marketing, acquisition, conversion, sales. Somebody has to give you money for your services, and retention. You want to keep them going, don't you? Right? Yeah. That's dating. Acquisition, online dating, cold approaching, meeting women through friends, social circle. That's your marketing. We max that out. Conversion, use my vibes, my attraction ladder, use my techniques to convert them, to sell yourself, and have a bomb ass lifestyle that is actually attractive, that makes them want to buy. They make me want to choose you. And then retention. Do you know how to keep these women in your life? If I gave you these women, could you keep them in your life? Does your lifestyle allow for these quality women to be a part of it, whether they're friends with benefits, which nothing wrong with that if both parties are happy, or a girlfriend and eventually a wife? Do you know how to keep these women in your life and make something special with it? And most men, again, this is not taught anywhere. This is something that we're just meant to magically know. And it's such a disservice for men and for women too, honestly, across the world, because nobody says, you know what, I'm out of shape, I need to go to the gym. What should I do, bro? You should go to the gym and just be more confident, be yourself, and you'll get your ideal body. That would be ludic. That would be the most ridiculous advice ever. I want to grow a business. How do I start a business? How do I really scale this and get a 7-figure business? Oh man, you should just be confident in your product and be yourself, and you'll grow, right? Yeah. There's no shame or there's no misunderstanding when it comes to I need help with either a personal trainer or to learn the right exercises, the right diet to get the body I want. There's no misunderstanding or shame involved or whatever when it comes to I want to grow my finances. I want to learn a trade. I want to learn a craft. I want to make more money. We get it. But for whatever reason, when it comes to dealing with people, with dating or social lives, there's still this thing of mysticism, the Disney lie, the idea of, well, it should just be. And if she doesn't like me for who I am, then it wasn't meant to be. And there's all this like woo, like energetic, whatever, versus what if it's like any other fucking skill in the entire world and you can crack it and actually better yourself and get this down? What if?
What is the end game of your clients? Is it marriage? It doesn't sound like it's just jumping in the sack, because you're having these guys really convert themselves into something better. So I imagine, as funny as this is, and some people may giggle and things like that, but this is serious business. This could really change lives and relationships, because, two better people getting together is probably most likely a better result than just hopping in a sack. Am I correct?
Yeah, again, if you want anyone listening who just wants to hop in a sack, get prostitutes. It's cheaper, it's easier, you'll get exactly what you want, and it'll save you a lot of time.
And they'll leave.
And they'll leave, and you're good. Like, if that's really all it is, like, this is not that service. What you're talking about, the end result. The end result for me, growing up where I was lonely, I was frustrated, I was miserable, I felt unappreciated, I felt unattractive, I felt like something was wrong with me, I felt undeserving, I felt that I was not someone that women could love. You know what the end result with me is? I get to wake up every single day loving and respecting myself. That's the end result. The end result of this is you get to have a lifestyle, whether it's a relationship with your girl, with your friends, with the kind of epic, cool events and stuff that you do, that you are proud of. That's the end result. The end result is you get to be with an amazing woman that you are like, thank God I did not settle. Thank God I actually put the real work in myself. When I say work on yourself, I'm not talking the meditating and journaling and doing drum circles or whatever. I'm actually talking about going, here is an actual tangible problem, and let me do actual practical tangible things to solve that problem, make it better, so that you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm part of that 1% of men, of the most successful guys on this planet, who are literally dialed in their life out of my own design. I control it. I get to do things that I never thought possible before. I get to have sex adventures or sexcapades or dates or with I've been dating billion-dollar heiresses, let alone models, let alone doctors, lawyers, Instagram influencers, reality TV stars, you name it, things that old Jared would have been like, that is impossible. You get to have a life that you're really proud of. And more than that, more than the superficial like accolades of all the, I'm in, MTV, A&E, Oxygen, ABC, all the letters, whatever. More than that is you get to be surrounding yourself with not just women, but men, with the kind of guys that give your life real enjoyment. And I don't think there's any more noble, a more amazing purpose, because at the end of, like, we're all gonna croak one day, right? It's all gonna be over for us one day. If you look at the biggest regrets of anyone on their deathbed, it's not that they wish they worked more. There's no one on their deathbed that's like, I wish I put more hours at the office. It's always what? I wish I spent more time with family. I wish I had more loved ones in my life. I wish I had more romantic encounters. I wish I enjoyed this one life that I have to live. Something I heard from the Joe Rogan podcast, it comes from Confucius, and it's so true, is every man is given two lives. The first life is the one that we get born into, and the second life begins when we realize we only have one. And for everyone listening to this, I hope that second life clicks for you right now, and you understand that, because so many guys that I'm helping, they have the golden handcuffs. They're making money. They're doing okay for themselves. They got a career going, and they fake it. They fake. They're like, no, I'm positive. I'm good. I'm blah blah blah. I don't mind my work. Go home, chill on the couch, watch some Netflix, work a drone. But when we get down to it, they're miserable, and they don't even understand what kind of potential. Like right now, after this, I'm taking this beautiful girl out, literally on for her birthday tonight. Like I have a date literally lined up right after this. And this is a girl that I'm exploring stuff with, dating. And last night I have a friend with benefits literally just come by just to hook up and have fun. And that's my normal week. It's not even the weekend, Slava. That's my normal week. And most guys could never even they can't even understand or contemplate what it means to live this way.
That's beautiful. I hope the one tonight doesn't see the podcast about last night. But
honestly, that's the other thing. I never will lie, cheat, or show fake intentions to a girl. I have a very strict code of ethics. Every girl I date, they understand what the deal is. If I end up making a girl my girlfriend and I say I'm committed, I am 100% committed. I never cheat. I never believe in leading a girl on and letting her think it's more than what it is. I have a very strict code of ethics and conduct that I try my best, at least, to instill in guys. That's the beauty of this. If the girl I'm meeting up with tonight saw this, she would understand that we are not officially together. She's not my girlfriend. We are seeing where things go. I'm free to do whatever I want. Hell, the last girl I dated would go out, and she loved watching me go out and meet and pick up other women in front of her. I'm telling you, it's bananas. It's mind-boggling.
It's a different lifestyle, my friend. I can't condone that stuff anymore. I'm a married man, and
which is great,
religious, and that's. But good for you. Good for you. I don't hate.
Nothing wrong with that. Two of my coaches are married, and they teach it, and one has been happily married for the last 20 years, and he teaches courses on how to build relationships. It is literally, there's no right or wrong answer. At the end of the day, if you are happy and you're living the life you want, that's all that matters.
I like you, Jared. You're at first I'm looking at this, I'm like, this guy is going to be something. And, I have the feeling that half my audience will be like, this guy's a scumbag. I want to see what this guy says. I want to tear him apart. And then now you become a crusader. So, a champion for every man out there to be a better version of himself. So I like you, Jared. You definitely changed my mind, because the stigma at first, what is this modern flirting? It's like these apps on steroids, live. Right. So, but you turned out to be a crusader for goodness. You know what? Plug yourself, man. I want every guy out there to look at themselves. If they're struggling, if they're just not where they want to be in any phase of their life, it sounds like you help them in many phases of life. So plug yourself. How can they find you? I want guys to be
everywhere. I mean, you can literally find me everywhere. You can go on my TikTok, which is Jared's like Laurence on TikTok, the Instagram, the Jared Laurence. You can go to my Facebook group, Modern Flirting Dating Advice. I would probably say the best way would be the Facebook group. I would go on Facebook, try to add me as a friend, Jared Tech Laurence. I would probably go to the Facebook group, Modern Flirting Dating Advice. And the reason I say the Facebook group is because I understand not everyone either can afford our services or maybe people are skeptical and they want to see, things more for themselves. So we just have a very special in the Facebook group every single week. Me and Cosmo, who's probably the best in the world at building attraction with women, literally the best in the world. I would put him up against anyone. Both of us, every single Wednesday, every week, we do free coaching. No sales pitch, no webinars, nothing like that. There's no whatever. We literally just take guys' questions and we help them and solve their problem points right then and there. So I would say, number one, if you want the goods for free, if you want to see it for yourself, and some guys, that's where it ends, cool. But other people, I believe in giving. And they value it. They go, wow, this is amazing. And I'm getting it for free. This is awesome. A lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of times they go, you know what? I want more. I want the full path. I want the full strategy because I want to be able to deliver. So I would say the Facebook group is probably the best way. You can email me, psych@modernflirting.com. If you decide to reach out to me on Instagram, what I'm going to do for you, Slava, because I like you too, and I'm glad that you see it, because don't get me wrong, I do these all the time, and sometimes, yeah, they make it a mission to try to crucify what I do. It doesn't matter what I say. They're just having their mind, this is bad. You're just trying to get guys hooking up with girls. How dare you? And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I questioned in the beginning, and I'll even admit I was part of the problem for a good 2 or 3 years. I was, and thankfully I got out of that. And all of that is in my book, Psychology of Modern Flirting, where I go over step by step the emotional progression to give a girl. So what I'm down to do for you, Slav, is anyone who messages me on Instagram or Facebook or email or just YouTube, I'm on YouTube, anywhere. Probably can't message me on YouTube, but if they mention your name, they say, hey, I heard of you with Dr. Slava, I will send them my book for free. Oh. All right. It's $20 on Amazon, but if you message me and you mention this podcast, that's your ticket. You'll get it for free, and I hope you enjoy. And who knows? Maybe we can answer some of your questions.
Absolutely. Listen, if you ever want me to come on to your Facebook and maybe add over to it once in a while, I'll be happy to add.
That'd be great.
For people who are religious and out there, give my little take. So I'm happy.
Speaking of religious, this just happened. So we do get some guys who are deeply religious. I had a guy who's very, very religious in a Christian community. He was very big on the faith, very big in the church. But for whatever reason, he had zero sex life. Literally yesterday, he's been in my program for how long has Jim been in the program? What, 3, 4 months? About, let's say 4 months. I'll be conservative. He just broke a 3.5-year dry spell.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And he's literally and he's meeting and attracting the women at church. He's not giving up his faith. He's not doing he's not going out to these crazy bars or clubs. It's all done within a church. He wants to do it within his community, and it's working, and he's able to meet the kind of women he wants. So for all my faith guys out there, I got you, brother. Different
soul for different folks. And that guy and that girl, that could be marriage for life from there. I love it, man. Listen, there's many people could crucify you for whatever. That's wrong. I'm telling you guys right now, there's a lot of amazing components to this. More guys should work on themselves, on their hygiene, on their dressing, on their mindset. There is nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you guys right now, do not crucify this man, because there's a lot of guys out there who need help with their wardrobe. They need help with their mindset. They need help with their business finance stuff, and definitely to avoid some of these red flags with women, because you are the problem. So, get some help. Mentors will help you avoid some of those red flags, so you're not walking in there like a bozo into the club or church or anywhere else. So make sure you're doing things the right way and ethically professional way too. So girls do not want to be treated like garbage. All right. So very good. I love it, man. I love it. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. You were awesome. I thank you for coming on. Do your good work, man. What can I say? It is what it is. These are modern times, and modern times look for modern things.
Well, hopefully Modern Flirting will be here way beyond when I'm gone. I hope this outlives me. So I'm really, really excited for this, and thank you for helping me share my message.
Beautiful. So be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening, make sure to rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you for listening to The Time Is Now with me, Dr. Slava Shut. Remember to tune in every Friday at 2 p.m. and send in your questions to Dr. Slava Shut on Twitter. Thank you, thank you, thank you.